Hi, everybody. I'm so pleased to be here with fellow conservationists, and like all of us in this room, I remain deeply awed on a cellular level by Rachel Carson's vision and tenacity and courage, and I am so humbled to be receiving an award in her name, and by the other remarkable women whom Audubon has recognized in the past, like oceanographer Sylvia Earle and environmental leader Frances Beinecke, both of whom are personal heroes of mine. And also my fellow honoree today, Maya Lin. Maya, your work is so amazing. That was one of the most wonderful things, so powerful. You express your love for the earth, not just in your advocacy, but in your art. And all my sisters from the Gulf, thank you so much for everything you're doing. I'm only starting to work on behalf of our planet and all the natural systems that sustain us, and I've arrived here with all of you today from a very unlikely path, movies and science fiction. As you know, it was working with the mountain gorillas for several months in Rwanda that taught me the importance of protecting habitat, and in Avatar, playing a botanist who champions the natural world, sending that message out that resonated around the planet also pushed me further. And as events in our world increasingly play out, like bad disaster movies, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, droughts, we must all step up and play the hero. It comes as no surprise to me that an event honoring women in conservation draws such a packed, powerful house. Why? Because we women are the original conservationists. No disrespect to all the very wonderful men in the room, but women instinctively understand that resources are limited. For centuries, we have kept fires going and made the harvest last. We know we can't squander supplies of food or fuel if it means there will be none for tomorrow. We understand that we can't leave our children with dirtier air and fewer forests than we inherited. But that's not all. Women know how to get things done. And I learned as a mother raising a child here in New York, going to many meetings, that if you want to get something done, you don't go to the fathers, sorry fathers. You go to the mothers and the aunties and then hold on to your hats. And this is the kind of energy and determination we need right now. Women are already on the front lines of climate disruption. We are responsible for 80% of food production in the developing world. Drought and unpredictable rains brought on by climate change will make this work far more precarious. Our role as caretakers puts us at even greater risk in times of extreme weather. Studies have found that women are 14 times more likely to die as a result of storms and other extreme weather as men. 14 times. Why? Because women often look after the children and the elderly and the sick, and that means we have less mobility in a flood or wildfire. And right now, hundreds of millions of women are being denied basic education, married off too young, or lack access to adequate health care. The leading cause of death for girls between the ages of 15 and 19 is medical complications from pregnancy. As Gloria Steinem once said, "The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off." Anger has long been a motivating force for women, and anger can help us find solutions. Most women and girls want more control over how and when they build their families, and most development organizations support that aim. Now researchers recognize that what is good for women is good for the planet. Two groundbreaking studies, one from the U.S. National Center for Atmospheric Research and one from the Futures Group, found that simply by meeting women's existing needs for voluntary family planning, we could reduce carbon emissions by between 8 and 15%. That is the equivalent of stopping all deforestation today. It's an extraordinary proposition. Empowering women to make critical decisions in their own lives can help solve the biggest environmental and humanitarian challenge of our time. And I'm not just talking about developing countries. According to last week's USA Today, 40% of America's pregnancies are unplanned in women 15 to 44. Now, I want to be clear, none of this takes the place of government action on climate change. We must press for change. We must insist that our political candidates step up and address our environmental concerns with concrete agendas. I keep hearing politicians and heads of industry say that we just can't afford in this recovering economy to switch to sustainable fuels. You know what? We can't afford not to. Ask the good people of Mississippi about their bottom line. If there's anything I take from the legacy of Rachel Carson, if there's anything I take from receiving this award today, it is this. Rachel Carson faced daunting hurdles, and still she persevered. When chemical companies threatened to sue her, Carson stood behind the evidence in her book. When the makers of DDT attacked her character, she refused to back down. And when breast cancer drained her energy, Carson found the spiritual strength to testify in Congress and call for greater protections against dangerous pesticides. Ever since I learned about this award, I've been asking myself, what would Rachel do? And the answer is always the same: more. As mothers, we must do more. As women, we must do more. We shape the future of our families. As homemakers, we choose what food and products come into our homes. As businesswomen, we influence the market. And as government leaders, we demand better for our communities. With each one of these decisions, we have the opportunity to help save this planet. The environment is the bottom line. All of our achievements as women, which have been formidable, will mean nothing if life itself is at risk. Rachel Carson knew that, and all of us in this room know that. Now we must go out and do battle. The status quo has had its chance. Business as usual has had its chance. We are the new kids on the block, relatively speaking. We need to go out there, ladies, and kick some serious ass. It's time. Carson wrote, "Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts. Whenever we are weary from this fight, enraged by business as usual, let us remember Rachel Carson's words, contemplate the beauty of the earth, and then get out and fight like hell to protect it." Thank you very, very much.